Oh, did you think we were done with Cinema Snob episodes this year? Of course not. We only have a little bit of time remaining in 2019, which is why we need to see if this year was correctly predicted by the 1983 film 2019. I can't read that. Help me out. Ha, there we go. 2019 After the Fall of New York. Naturally, we had to wait until the end of the year to spotlight this film, just in case I said that this movie was an incorrect portrait of 2019, and then a fall of New York actually happened. Oh boy, would I be embarrassed. As you can probably guess, the movie was heavily inspired by John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Only in this case, a hardcore mercenary is sent into the Big Apple to rescue the world's only fertile woman after the nuclear holocaust. Wait, that's what the movie's about? Okay, so while the movie may be a ripoff of Escape from New York, it also somehow predicted the plot to Children of Men. The film was graced upon us by exploitation filmmaker Sergio Martin Dolman. Okay, sure. Like a lot of Italian directors of the time, Sergio could master any genre, not only bringing us post-apocalyptic entertainment, but also screwball comedies like Don't Play with Tigers, spaghetti westerns with A Man Called Blade, the Amazon cannibal movie Mountain of the Cannibal God, creature features like Screamers, and giallo films like The Suspicious Death of a Minor. Seems uplifting. But the best credit here is that the movie is co-written by Ernesto Gastaldi, who did uncredited work on Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in America, which means that it could conceivably say, from the writer of 2019 After the Fall of New York. The film stars Michael Sopkiv of Devilfish, Massacre in Dinosaur Valley, and goddamn was this ever the best era for movie posters. Boy, this movie isn't just gonna be a blast, it's gonna be a blast fighter! I sure hope it doesn't look too bleak. Gotta have something to do with Skynet. Here's an opening that says, "Hello? Hello?" Like they always said, two things will survive a nuclear bomb: cockroaches and smooth jazz. When Godzilla saw the fall of New York, he wept, for there were no more cities left to conquer. My curiosity is piqued because how the hell is a big ape gonna factor into this? Sure, I could laugh at more fake names, but Oliver Onions? Definitely real. Could be the musicians, or could be the resurrected spirit of British writer Oliver Onions. The movie's too cheap for a text crawl, so a voiceover narration will do.
Since the nuclear holocaust, 20 years have passed.
Since it's been 20 years, you have no excuse for this place still being so dirty. And pay attention or this'll get really confusing.
The leader of the Urak monarchy, the powerful Euro-Afro-Asian unity who pressed the fatal button, claims to have won the conflict.
Well, I understand. New York has been reduced to a Simpsons Lego set. Buy yours today. On the other hand, I see fashion has survived. I guess cars cause too much pollution, though. We don't want this place turning into a shithole. Okay, I think I'm still following this.
With the help of mercenary hunters, the Uraks are, with deadly efficiency, steadily exterminating the locals.
Not only is this taking place in a trash dump, but an exposition dump. Thankfully, though, the company baseball team has survived. The winner gets a lifetime supply of ointment. You're gonna need something for that rash. Good lord, this looks harsh. Why do I feel like every extra on a movie like this is terrified that the producers are gonna go most dangerous game on them? Oh no, what are you doing? Now everything's ruined. Clearly this fascist future government is unaware of a little something called squatters' rights. I have a lot of respect for this. This was back when mockbusters still looked frickin' epic. I wonder what day of the week this is. Okay, fine, but what day is it? It's about time we got our Twisted Metal movie, and here's our hero, Snake Parsifal. Does no one in this future get along? What's with all the death sports? I don't know what people are complaining about. Personally, I think the new Tesla Cybertruck looks great. The heavy spikes are important in a future race to the death. The winner gets told that the nuclear holocaust didn't happen. They're just filming in the desert. Do you have a low-budget movie and need to film after the apocalypse? Just go to the desert! With no more electricity, the only way BattleBots could have survived was to glue garbage cans to the cars. Huh, man, I had my money bet on the other guy. Well, better tell his family. Good job, Mr. Namath. No way our hero made it out alive. Oh, my mistake. The main character in this movie isn't dead at all. Now that these guys are dead, best send their families our folded up future dictatorship flag. Let's celebrate in this annoying future.
To the victor, long life and happiness. To the victor, long life and happiness.
Oh great, Wizzo the Clown survived. I don't want to be in the apocalypse anymore. Wait a minute, that's not a mannequin at all. I have a sense for these things, trust me.
These are real fucking people.
Oh, God.
Congrats, Parsifal. You won a love interest for the next few minutes.
That thing back there was a cyborg, half man, half robot. I knew one once.
Yes, that's great. You're a cyborg too, aren't you? Unfortunately, he's interrupted by the plot. We've lost the script to Escape from LA. We need you to sneak into Cleveland to find it. But first, pit stop. Totally necessary.
Why did you do that?
They must have drunk radioactive water.
Awful.
They'd have been dead in a couple hours anyhow.
He was just drinking a surge, you slime! But he gives the slave girl her freedom. That way we know he's a good guy. Now on with his day. Probably unrelated. I'm sure they're just taking him a few miles away. Yeah, okay. Now knockoff Snake can meet knockoff McCready. Wait a minute. President Edmund Purdom? I hope his puzzles survived.
I had hoped you were dead.
On the contrary, I'm still very much alive.
Yeah, but I guess his voice didn't survive because that is not Edmund Purdom's voice. We find out that mankind may survive because a fertile woman has been found in New York. Parsifal must find her before the evil Urics do, and before holes are punched in the plot.
One fertile woman's not enough to recreate the entire human race.
Shh! I am learning so much.
She'll have at least 500 eggs in her ovaries. That's 500 uncontaminated human beings.
Yes, I paid attention in biology class. Please continue.
There is an interplanetary rocket sitting on a subterranean launch pad to Alpha Centauri, where there are several planets.
The future seems complicated. He has to take with him 2 men, Bronx and Ratchet, the best Sega Genesis game. Plus, we've cured them for being too masturbation happy.
That's Ratchet, the strongest man in the new Confederacy.
Holy shit, they built Stephen Lang! Ah, crap, we've gone off the road. How the hell are we gonna make it to New York? Oh, right, just follow the soundtrack. Well, that was a fast trip. We should all join a band together. The only way into the city is through the tunnel. You'll die of radiation poisoning halfway through anyway. Nothing matters. I didn't realize we'd get a cameo from another post-apocalyptic classic, Rat's Night of Terror. Oh good, we made it out. It would have been sooner if you took the fake claw off. Oh shit, we're in Fight Scene County. Gentlemen, please, you can each share in the shithole. But let's take a moment to appreciate some Oliver onions. It's more convenient when the movie uses its own catchy 8-bit theme. I feel like most action scenes in this movie could end with, anyway, now where were we? In Italy, they often asked, do we make a post-apocalyptic movie or a medieval fantasy? And it took one genius to say, why not both? Don't worry, you can still have a group of homeless men dumping a bucket of hot feces on you in any version. Once you fellas make it past the rats, not only will you find the fertile woman, but you'll find the tomb of the first Crusader knight and his inscripted shield. If anyone here has had enough, I think it's the rats. Great, somewhere outside there's a wandering cyclo just dying to call someone rat brain. The gang here gets distracted because, seriously, they confuse a dwarf for a small child.
Let's slice the dirty little bastard in two!
It's not his fault he isn't a child.
Yes, but he's gonna taste so much better than a rat. Our heroes are captured and are the unwelcome guests in Rape Land, though something tells me that every territory in this future is Rape Land. This here is the Rat Eater King, but why take time to explain that when another action scene has interrupted our explanations?
Take the best specimens for the experiment center. Wait a minute. These two don't look like they belong here.
Neither does your voice. Now take them back to the opening scene of the movie. You are our prisoners.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes, we're gonna torture you with stock interrogation lines. God, explaining things still makes it more confusing.
We have fused Asia and Europe and Africa into a single race, a world civilization.
I don't know if I believe this. You're all whiter than the Buttercream Gang.
I shall now get to the point of this little discussion.
Really? You sure? Why start now? No, why'd you do that? He was finally getting to the point! Meanwhile, we want to know where we can find a proper James Bond knockoff. It isn't the same torturing just anybody on this table. I think I could get used to this torture.
Do you know me now?
Why yes, you're Ra from Stargate. Pleasure to meet you. This is fun and all, but they should have made all the characters teenagers, give it a PG-13, toss in buckets of CGI, and throw in a love triangle. It's like they don't know how the apocalypse works. He tells her that Gianna of the Rat People is the woman they're looking for. Might as well tell her what I know. She's hot. Look, don't ask us how we know she's fertile. We just read it as a rumor on future Twitter. I'm sure he's telling the villains the truth and not at all lying to them. Hey, wait a minute, they're torturing my friends. I shouldn't have trusted these people at all. Where's his passionate kiss from his captor? Fine, I'll rescue you and kiss you myself. I suppose they have okay medical testing here.
As you can plainly see in this comparison with other women tested, the results indicate that she's totally sterile.
Well, if the Magnavox Odyssey says so, I guess we have to believe it. As the eyes of future Cinema Snob are being saved, make up your mind, do you have technology or not? They're going to be running around the parking garage for a while, so I best take a break and maybe use the restroom or something. Now that we're back, our heroes are still alive. Oh no, that guy. In honor of his passing, the movie will now be called 2019 After the Fall of Bronx. In this era of Italian cinema, it doesn't matter if it's a zombie movie, a nuclear holocaust movie, or a slasher movie, there will be a power plant. And just push the cardboard over, you'll be fine. You still got Ratchet to help you. You'll need him, because according to IMDb, he's played by a shark. Come on, Ratchet, do your job. You were in Escape from the Bronx. You should know how this works. Luckily, the villains have fixed this man's eyes and created future sunglasses.
I'm convinced he belongs to the new Confederacy.
They're racists! Sorry, we don't have time for more bad news from Darth Mo Sislak. We've got more exposition, but I'm too distracted by Ratchet drinking milk from a bowl of Chernobylos. I bet they're gonna get captured again. Oh, come on, the music from Oliver Onions isn't that bad. It's quite catchy, really. They've done a lot of great themes. Hell, some of the music here is just taken from your Hunter from the Future. I see this movie also predicted the scene from Spaceballs where they find our heroes by just watching the movie. They need to hurry this up fast so Anna Kanakis can go across the street to act in Warriors of the Wasteland. And before our heroes happen upon something else stupid.
Careful. There's something weird about this.
Really? Just this? Okay, you have my attention. This is a little weird. Huh, well, that was an odd trap. It's taken him 20 full years to catch something. Help us! Ew! And just when you think this movie is rather repetitive and predictable... It isn't. Hence the appearance of Big Ape. That's right, the movie is now a very Omega Planet of the Ape Man.
They've been combing the city for you guys, like you was bunches of bananas.
Get it? 'Cause he's part ape. And that's the legendary George Eastman of Porno Holocaust and Erotic Nights of the Living Dead, still searching for Edmund Purdom after Zombie 6. You may think this is makeup, but it's the result of an allergic reaction after being the anthropophagus. Everyone wants the fertile woman.
I can make babies. There's 2 of us that are still uncontaminated, too.
But please don't. The Ape Men all have a lifetime supply of Cocoa Krispies for them to eat. All they had to do was sign away their likeness rights. And in case you think the apes are the heroes...
If you like her, you take her.
They're still rapey as hell. Besides, this girl is mine. Our children will be much more attractive than yours. Look, baby, let's take this in the other room. I'm just having a hard time getting it up in there. I'd say it isn't because of the apes, but it's definitely because of the apes. Unfortunately, Big Ape overheard Parsifal call him a cross between Maud and a Geico caveman, and he's pissed.
Parsifal was telling the truth. He just wanted to save this one from the Urax. She's not fertile. I've seen the one who is.
Wait, you mean he lied to the villains? Dishonest hero. So they're still on their quest to find the only fertile woman. Great, so we had sex for nothing? Your breath stinks. Now on with our journey, fellas. I'm sure the woman is in this safe room.
Professor.
Oh no? On the plus side, they found the fertile woman. It's the goddess Isis.
She can make a baby.
Put it back in your pants, Big Ape. She still has standards. Why is any of this happening?
She's a professor's daughter. He knew what would happen to women exposed to radiation, so he hibernated her. She was to breed a new race.
Something tells me she didn't have much of a say in this. And it's also the home for the world's only remaining unleaded fueled car. We're home free.
The gorilla's in love. Beauty and the Beast.
Guys, maybe stop the ape from date raping Sleeping Beauty. You're all too trusting.
She's the only hope mankind has for the future.
They'd have to kill me first before they lay a hand on her.
I see no reason we shouldn't trust the horny ape. Come on, fellas. Don't worry, we'll leave Gianna in there to protect her. Well, that worked like a charm. Idiots! They're all idiots.
Carrying my seed.
Ugh, this is gonna end with her giving birth to a giant banana, isn't it? Damn serial apist! Only one thing can get them out of New York, digging up Freddy Krueger's bones. I don't know why they're so angry. This is the first sunny day of the movie. Thankfully, Shorty is here for a very harsh distraction.
Stupid bastards!
Huh. Well, boys, guess we're done here. That was overkill. Also, hey, you knocked me out, you bastard!
Is everything okay here?
Everything's fine.
What? Everything's fine? Even I think these people are idiots, and I put the ape in rape. Now let's get the hell out of here so we can reenact the bridge scene from Escape from New York. I miss the days when we could go see a low-budget knockoff and still marvel at how cool the film looks. And they're nice enough to not run over the light display set up by the supreme ruler for the Christmas festivities. But it needs more lasers. Just like in Children of Men. Good job, everyone. We made it out alive. Meh. Well, that was a quick and painless procedure. What'd I miss? It was best to kill them. That's much easier than explaining Big Ape. Truly, Big Ape is a hero who saved mankind before he died.
Love at first sight. I just hope the seed's as fertile as he boasted it was.
Boy, 2019 sure does promote ape culture. Oh, when they find out Ratchet is a cyborg, I guess this is bad. He still seemed to help them out a lot. In this future, you're either a rapist or you're racist against cyborgs. And were the head injury bird sound effects really necessary? Oh no, Gianna, I guess we should have kept quiet about the cyborg. Now kiss me, you fool, and leave me with something provocative.
A small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. Do you know what that leap is? Love.
I agree, this movie is to cinema what the moon landing is to mankind. Oh right, Edmund Purdom. I forgot he was in this movie. Look, I brought the woman back, but unfortunately she's riddled with ape lice. Don't ask how. Purdom tells him that he's terminally ill, so he gives Parsifal his seat on the spaceship, ready to blast away and leave Earth. So it's also a prequel to WALL-E? Jesus, every post-1983 futuristic movie can trace back to 2019 after the fall of New York. Oh boy, are they gonna have a lot of explaining to do when she wakes up. Such as, why does she now have the sudden urge to throw her feces at people? And thus ends this documentary-style look back at the year 2019. Seems pretty accurate to me. I got in a lot of fights inside of junkyards and had plenty of desert races, which is why when you get the movie on VHS, they're nice enough to take the year off the title, which clearly makes the movie far more timeless. Huh? Michael Sopkiv is the best action hero since Clint Eastwood. Handsome, virile actor Michael Sopkiv stars in this futuristic thriller. Okay, I may be wrong, but I think this box really wants to bang Michael Sopkiv. Not only is it a very Sopkiv-focused cover, but his hand has reached beyond the headshot to play grab-ass with the credits. This movie had apes, rat kings, spaceships, and Sleeping Beauty. Sure, that may seem confusing, but you have to truly understand what happened in the year 2019 to fully know how 2020 became a world of Texas gladiators. What's that? You want to know how next year will turn into a wasteland of Texas gladiators? Well, don't ask me now. It's still 2019. We gotta wait until next year to talk about 2020.
I didn't know what he was until I had made love with him.